All right, so this is a quick video, and these are feminine pads. Yes, I'm talking about pads. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because feminine products are a big concern, and a lot of people are not aware of the toxic properties that are in mainstream most feminine products. Brands like Playtex, brands like what's the other one that's really popular? Kotex, I want to say. Um, More and more companies are coming out with better, cleaner products now, but still the majority of your mainstream pads and tampons still contain high amounts of glyphosate and just high amounts of chemicals that you don't want in or on your body. So these are just some pads that I have that I kind of wanted to show you. That would be a good example of what you could use. Now, I also do recommend menstrual cups like Diva Cup, Luna Cup. There are so many. I have tried several. I do not use them anymore just because I can never get one to fit right. And they just kind of, I don't know, it's just not the best thing for me. Used to be, I used them a lot. I don't use them anymore. So, what I use are products like these. And I use tampons and pads, and I kind of combine the two. And I use a little bit more of pads, but it may seem kind of personal and a little invasive, but I felt it important to put it out there that we need to be cautious of what products we're putting in our bodies. So these are called Bellaflor, and I get these from my local grocery store. And it has natural chamomile, aloe vera, and vitamin E. And the important thing about this is these are chlorine free. And if you look here, you can see it says Bellaflor pads are not bleached with elements of chlorine, making them safer for you and the environment naturally. So these aren't the absolute best thing you can get, but they are something that you can really, utilize. And these are cheap. I mean, these don't cost much at all. They're no more than your average Kotex or Always or whatever. But I would recommend something like this. These are the overnight ones, but I also have the thin ones with wings or whatever, the everyday wear. And so I use those a lot, and then I use these sometimes. And then I have tampons, a good brand that I would recommend. There are so many different brands out there they have now of the tampons that you can get. And that's something I'll be incorporating into a later video. But the tampons are a big thing, and I believe that there's one really popular brand that has organic. I want to say it's Playtex. I could be wrong. But I know they have one at the store that I got recently, and it's pretty mainstream, but they have organic options to choose from. So I do also want to point out that if you're using tampons to reduce your risk of TSS, toxic shock syndrome, you want to use the smallest size possible. So you really want to use the regulars if at all possible. I know for whatever reason, most females use supers. I have never used supers. I've always hated them. I guess if you have a super, super heavy flow. But even if you do, I still highly recommend using the regular size tampons because the supers are just not as good for you. So with that being said, that's all I have to say about these feminine products. Like I say, as a quick recap, I do highly recommend menstrual cups if at all possible, if they work for you. Medical grade silicone, just make sure you get a good one. Wash them, you want to boil them between uses, between cycles or whatever. You want to wash it out, but those are really excellent if they are good for your body and your body is willing to tolerate them. So, for me, however, I use these. If you're going to use a disposable product, I would recommend something like this for a pad or for a tampon. Just make sure that you're getting organic so that you're not putting unnecessary chemicals into your body that you might not be aware of. And so the final thing I'll mention is another option would be using reusable pads and reusable, they actually have like tampon sponges that you can get. I tried those sponges years ago. I think it's kind of gross. I think it's kind of not the most sanitary option and just kind of weird. So I don't really recommend those, but that is an option that's out there that's natural and reusable. And then you can do reusable cotton pads. Some people do that. Again, that's something that I don't find to be the most sanitary option. But it is an option out there that'll help you reduce your carbon footprint and make sure that you're not using unnecessary chemicals. And chlorine is a good thing. Chlorine, glyphosate, with these types of feminine products. So that's all I'm going to say about feminine hygiene for now, and we'll address it more later.